guys, I'm Jenny Pop and it's time for a wrestling video. So I'm a huge fan of wrestling and it's recently been announced that WWE is splitting the SmackDown and Raw brands into completely two different rosters, two different live shows with two different storylines. So let the speculation begin. I wanted to talk about who I think should be on the rosters and why. Big caveats. Women's, I think, should be fluid. I love what they're doing with the roster. Sasha Banks, Emma, Charlotte, Natty, as I call her, because I watch Total Divas, and we're like buddies. And the tag teams. A lot of solid tag teams. I don't want to see them broken up at all. Especially New Day. Stay New Day together and be able to fight everyone else. So now that we've talked about the caveats, we can actually talk about the rosters. For my roster, for Raw, my number one pick would be Roman Reigns, heavyweight champ. He is not a bad guy. He is not a good guy. He is the guy. Talk about the guy. For my number one for SmackDown, I would actually go with John Cena, the You Can't See Me Now face of the company. He's been on Raw for years, and I think giving him SmackDown would give a lot of legitimacy to that show. And my number two for Raw would be Dean Ambrose, one of my favorites. My number two for SmackDown, KO, Kevin Owens. I love the new talent that's coming up, and I love the idea of putting a lot of the new talent with the old talent and having a good mixture. I think Cena and Owens on SmackDown would possibly have some great feuds. You can see as the list continues, I really tried to kind of keep that balance for both shows. For number three, for Raw, we have Cesaro. He is a good face, he is a good heel, and I think he would be a great addition for Raw. Number three for SmackDown would be my boy, AJ Styles. Yep, he just fought Cena. For Raw, I gotta put Rusev. And of course, SmackDown, you can't have your Kevin Owens without your Sami Zayn. So he would be my number four SmackDown. So for Raw, I'm kind of having a Shield thing here. So obviously my number five choice would be Seth Rollins, because he also just came back. And you know, he's not a huge fan of his Shield buddies. My number five choice for SmackDown is The Miz, because he is awesome. Number six for Raw, we have Baron Corbin. Six for SmackDown, we have Sheamus. I love him. I love how they're setting up a feud with him. And my number seven for SmackDown. So my number seven for Raw would be one of my all-time favorites, Chris Jericho. You idiot! God, bunch of idiots! I can't do it as well as him, but I love him so much. So my number seven for SmackDown, yep, is Apollo Crews. 8 for Raw, we have Alberto Del Rio. So my 8 for SmackDown is Finn Balor. I know he actually hasn't come up yet, but I assume he will by the time it's July when they have this official split. And I think putting him on there with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and John Cena is you're gonna see some serious shit. Like, in a good way. Next pick for Raw would be Zack Ryder. Continuing the SmackDown train, I would put Bray Wyatt and the rest of the Wyatt family. Put them there. So for next Raw, I would put Kalisto, because we need a high flyer over there. So my last choice for SmackDown, the one and only Dolph Ziggler. I love him so much, and I wish they did more with him. He deserves much more than just being a mid-card, and hopefully with SmackDown, he can really shine and really help some of those young guys' careers. And a bonus for Raw when he gets better, Randy Orton. And my last for SmackDown, though he can pretty much go on any show he wants to, Brock Lesnar, because he's Brock Lesnar. So those are my two dream rosters for Raw and SmackDown. Quick summary. Raw, we got Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Rusev, Seth Rollins, Baron Corbin, Jericho, Alberto Del Rio, Zack Ryder, Kalisto, and of course Randy Orton when he gets better. For SmackDown, I would watch that, by the way. That would be like an awesome roster. SmackDown, also another awesome roster. McMahon's, you should write this down. We got John Cena, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, The Miz, Sheamus, Apollo Crews, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Dolph Ziggler. And of course, whenever he feels like beating people up, Brock Lesnar. I think those would be two solid brands. It's a good mixture of both vets and new stars to push up. I think we should keep tag teams and women's fluid. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think the tag team division and the women's division have both worked really hard to get to this point, and breaking it up I think would weaken, and I don't think either tag team or the women's should risk to be weakened. I'm Jenny Pop, I'm 5'4", and you can't teach that. Subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed my wrestling video. Let me know if you want to see more of them, because, you know, just enjoy now.